Peace, my family, and raw back to all, and those coming out of that good cocoon for the first time. Welcome. This is your girl, the butterfly, and we about to take off. Let's fly. Just want to send you all that good healing energy your way. Peace, love, happiness, harmony, and abundance. Hope you guys are out there keeping your mind right in that good mind. How y'all feeling today? Hope you guys most definitely moving up in your higher natures and cleansing. Say what? Cleansing the lows. I came on here today to share another clip from a master teacher's book called The L's Holy Injyil, the Book of Revelation. And it continues. And so, it goes like this. Chapter 10. The angelic Gabriel appears to John and presents him with the little book, which is the Quran. Verse 1, and it reads, "And I saw another strong angels come down from Orion's skies, clothed with the cloud, and upon his head was a rainbow, and his face was as the sun, and his feet were as pillars of fire. And I saw another strong Malachi come down from heaven, clothed with the cloud, and upon his head was a rainbow, and his face was as the sun, and his feet was as pillars of fire." And again it says, "And I saw another strong Malachi come down from the Orion skies, clothed with a cloud, and upon his head was a rainbow, and his face was as the sun, and his feet were as pillars of fire. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud. A rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as if it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire." And it reads, "And I, John, son of Zebedee, saw another strong Anunnaki Elohim, Gabriel, one who comes forth or prevailing for El. He is the one who brings messages to man on earth. One of these names was also Jesus, because it was he who brought salvation to man by the way of the messages or scriptures that he was commanded to by the Most High, such as the El's Quran, which was recited to the newsbearer Muhammad so he could memorize the words before it was written down in the year 610 AD. He came down from the Orion skies on the night of power, Layla al-Qadr, clothed with a cloud, representing many other Anunnaki Elohim, wearing all white. And upon his head, the Elohim Anunnaki, Malachi, also called Murdoch, ruler of the deities, was a rainbow symbolic of the covenant of the Elohim made with Noah, Unifistum, and his descendants, that their world would never be destroyed by water again, and also the coming of the end. This rainbow is also the Hela or aura, which is a magnetic force field that surrounds man, reflecting the intricate moods and thoughts that are changing every minute, thus affecting the various colors seen around the head and body. The luminous rainbow is also seen emanating from the arch Elohim, whose very essence is a pure green light, representing intelligence, life, and healing. and his Gabriel face was as the sun, reflecting an empowering strength, and his feet were as pillars of fire, representing the hell that those who backbite, slander, and hold their wealth, and hoard their wealth, thinking it will make them immortal. Verse 2, and it reads, and he, the Elohim Anunnaki Gabriel, also called Nizukim, density of light, had in his right hand El's Quran open up, showing that it was now ready to be read, interpreted, and understood, and finally spread to the people of the world. And he, the Anunnaki Gabriel, set his right foot in the sea, and his left foot he put upon the dry planet Earth, meaning that he will survive in human form, as in the case of when the Anunnaki Gabriel appeared to Mary. Luke 1:26-27. The news bearer Muhammad, El's Quran 96:1-5, and to Abraham with the Anunnaki Elohim, Raphael, Uriel, and Mikael, El's Torah, Genesis 18:2, being an Anunnaki Elohim, what Christians would call a Holy Spirit or a Holy Ghost, angel or angelic being. Hindus call them avatars, and Muslims call them Allah Musajjed or Malak, and they are indulged with a limited amount of energy which allows them to personify. Verse 3, and it reads, and called out with a big voice as when a lion roar. And when he had called out, 7 thunders answered with their voices. And he cried out with a loud voice, like a lion roaring. And when he cried, the 7 spoke out in voices of thunder. And he called out with a big voice, as when a lion roared. And when he had called out, 7 thunders answered with their voices. And it reads again, and cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roared. And when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. And it reads again, and when called out with a voice, as when a lion roars. And when Gabriel had called out, 7 thunders, which are actually the 7 cherubim or disagreeable beings, bringing the 2 sets of plagues, the 7 plagues each released on planet Earth, answer with their voices. And it reads, and John was instructed to seal up the book upon the proper time, the opening of the 7th seal, when one is able to break the seal, and explain the contents therein. Verse 4, and when the 7 thunders had spoken with their voices, I was determined at that point to write, and I heard a voice from the Orion skies saying to me, seal what the 7 thunders are saying and don't write them down. And it reads again, and when the 7 thunders had spoken with their voices, I was determined at the time to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying to me, seal what the 7 thunders are saying and don't write it down. And it reads again, and when the 7 thunders had spoken with their voices, I, Buchanan Bar Zebedee, was determined at that point to write. And I heard a voice from the Shamami skies saying to me, seal what the seven thunders are saying, and don't write it down. And when the seven thunders heard their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up those things which the seven thunders uttered, and write them not. And when the seven thunders had spoken with their voices, signaling the end is coming, and judgment is about to come upon the earth, I was determined at that point to write. And I heard Malachi, Zordak's voice from the Orion sky saying to me, seal what the seven thunders are saying, but don't write it down. And it reads again, and the angelic being Gabriel shows John that everything on the planet Earth will receive the judgment of Eli. Verse 5. And it reads, and the angels who I saw standing at the sea on the planet Earth lifted up his hands to the Orion. And the Malachi who I saw standing at the sea on the planet Earth lifted up his hands to the Samuel. And then the Malachi who I saw standing at the sea and on the planet Earth lifted up his hands to the Samuel Ayami. And then the angel which I saw sat upon the sea and upon the earth lifted his hand to the heaven. And it reads, and Gabriel, who I, Eucana, John, saw standing on the sea and on the planet earth, lifted up his hands toward the skies, one of the positions in prayer which is a gesture of reverence to El Elo, the heavenly one, anew, the creator, to the Samuyami, heavens or skies. Verse 6, and it reads, and he swore by the all that is ever living forever and ever, who created the Orion skies, whosoever is in it, and the planet earth, and whosoever is in it, from indeed there will be no more time after this. And it reads again, and he swore by him, that is, and he swore by him, that is, the ever-living forever and ever, who created the heavens, and whosoever is in it, and the planet earth, and whosoever is in it, for indeed there will be no more time after this. And it reads again, and he, Gabriel, swore by the all that is, the all, moi, ever-living forever and ever, who created Samuyami, and whosoever is in it, and the planet earth, and whosoever is in it, for indeed there will be no more time after this. And it reads again, and sworn of by him that lived forever and ever, who created the heaven and the things therein are, and the earth and all the things that therein are, and the sea and all the things which are therein, that there should be no more, or there should be time no more or no longer. And it reads, and he, the Anunnaki and execute Gabriel's son, Raziel and Zamuel, swore by all that is the ever-living creator and ever, who created the Orion skies, whosoever is in it, and the planet earth, and whatever or soever is in it, for indeed there will be no more time after this, meaning the secrets of this book would no longer remain a mystery. Verse 7, and it reads, however, in the days of the voice of the angels, when he shall begin to make a sound in order to complete the secrets of Theos, as he informed us in the hands of his servants, the news bearers. And it reads again, however, in the days of the voices of the 70 Melech make a loud sound by the way of the trumpet in order to complete the secrets of Allah, as he informed us in the hands of his servants the prophets. And however, in these days of the voices of the 7 Melech, when he shall begin to make a sound by the way of the trumpet in order to complete the secrets of the Elohim, as he informed us in the hands of his servants the news bearers. But in these days of the voices of the 7 angel, when he shall begin to sound, and the mystery of God shall be finished, and he shall declare his servants the prophets. And it reads again, however, in these days of the voice of the seven, Elohim Anunnaki, when he, Raphael, rise to El, will begin to make a sound by the way of the trumpet to hit the earth with the seven plagues, first being aids in order to complete the secrets of El Elo, Yahweh, Theos, Allah, and Anu, which are all the scriptures that reveal to man things he did not know. El Elo informed us in the hands of his servants, the news bearers, who the scriptures were revealed to and then recorded by them. And this is verse 8, and it reads again. And I heard the rhino sky's voice which spoke to me again, saying, go and take the little book which is open out of the hand of the Anglos, who is standing upon the sea and upon the planet Earth. And I heard from Sama the voice which spoke to me again, saying, go and take the book which is open out of the hand of the Melech, who is standing at the sea upon the planet Earth. And it reads again, and I heard the Samyami, the voice which spoke to me, and saying, go, and I will take the little book, the little scroll, which is opened out of the hand of the Melech, who is standing upon the sea and upon the planet Earth. And the voice which I heard from heaven spoken to me again, and said, go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. And I heard from the skies the voice of Gabriel Nezekut, which spoke to me, Yukiana, John, again saying, go and take the little book which is opened out of the hand of Malachi Zordak, who is standing upon the sea and upon the planet Earth, meaning his Elohim Anunnaki will personify to Yukiana, John, and John receives the scroll. And at first the beauty of Islam is pleasing to him until he experienced the hardships of propagating and living the truth. Verse 9. One moment. Alright now, and it reads, so I went into the Anglos, and he said to me, give me the little scroll. So he said, take the little scroll and eat it up. So it will be bitter in your belly, but as for when it is in your mouth, it will be as sweet as honey. And it reads again, and I went into the Melech and said to me, he said to him, give me the book. So he said, take the book and eat it up, and it will be bitter in your belly, but as for when it is in your mouth, it will be as sweet in your mouth as honey. And it reads again, and so I went into the Melech and said to him, give me the little scroll. So he said, take the little scroll and eat it up. So it will be bitter in your belly, but as for when it is in your mouth, it will be as sweet as honey. And it reads again, and I went unto the angel and said unto me, give me the little book. And he said unto me, take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in the mouth sweet as honey. And it reads again, so I went to Malachi Zordak and said to him, give me the little scroll. So he said, Malachi Zordak speaks, and he says, take the little scroll and eat it up, meaning for Yukiana, John, to take the little scroll and digest it, master it, so he would have overstanding of what would happen when the Comforter comes. The scroll that Yukiana is being told to memorize it, El's Holy Quran, it is the only scripture up until this day that is being memorized by recitation. So it will be bitter in your belly, because it will be bitter in your belly, because you have to face what it's saying to do because of its prescribed laws from the Most High, and you have difficulty living it. So it becomes hard to digest. But as for when it is in your mouth, it becomes hard to digest. But when it is in your mouth, it will be as sweet as honey. And it is chanted. It is the most beautiful thing to listen to. And the words in El's Holy Quran are sweet as honey. For those who do good and adhere to the warnings with true understanding of them, and is bitter, full of oil to those who ignore the signs in it. Verse 10. And I took the little scroll from the hand of, and ate it up. It became sweet in my mouth like honey, but when I swallowed it, it became bitter in my belly. And I, Yukiana, took the book from the hand of the Melech and ate it up, so it became sweet in my mouth like honey, but when I swallowed it, it became bitter in my belly. And I, John, Yukiana, took the little scroll from the hand of the Melech and ate it up, so it would become sweet in my mouth like honey, and when I swallowed it, it became bitter in my belly. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my mouth was bitter. And I, Yukiana John, took the little scroll, El's Quran, from the hand of Malachi Zordak, who is Melchizedek, leader of the density, supreme density, and ate it up, so it became sweet in my mouth like honey, which is one of the miracle foods. Honey, which is one of the miracle foods from the Most High, because it can purify and heal the body of ailments. But when I swallowed it after reading the Quran and digested its meaning, it became bitter in my belly after the truthfulness and reality of its words were grievous to Yukiana John. John is told how he would prophesy again after the book of Revelation. And it reads again. John is told how he would prophesy. John is told how he will prophesize again. John is told how he would prophesy again after the book of Revelation. Verse 11. And it reads, and he said to me, it is a must for you to prophesy again into nations and tribes and tongues and many rulers. And he said to me, it is a must for you to prophesy again into the nations and tribes and tongues and many nations. And he said to me, it is a must for you to prophesy again into the nations and tribes and tongues and many rulers. And it said it again. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples, nations and tongues and kings. And he, Malachi Zordak, said to me, Malachi Zordak speaks. And it reads, this is a must for you, John, to prophesy again, meaning that he not only had to receive and record the book of Revelation, but he also had to spread the word of the coming prophet who would receive a little scroll, else Holy Quran, to nation, tribes, tongues, and many rulers of people throughout the world. He also will record his on the scroll for 2 years, the book of John. Alright, now, so let me repeat that one more time. This is meant for you, John, to prophesy again, meaning that he not only had to receive and record the book of Revelation, but he also had to spread the word of the coming prophet who received the little scroll, else Holy Quran, to the nation and tribes and tongues and many rulers of people throughout the world. And he also would record his on a scroll for 2 years, the book of John. And that right there is the end of chapter 10. So again, if you are interested in checking this out, you can check this out on my channel, and I'll be posting this chapter as well pretty soon. So if you are interested, you should read it yourself, which is so much encouraged on this good journey with it. So with that being said, hope you guys know again that you are loved beyond this world. Begin to spread the love one to another. Be the peace that you seek. Release our master teacher, Dr. Malachi L. Peace, shalom, hashug, divine love, and wah.